Hello, everybody. Welcome to David's Kitchen, and yeah, the amazing view out the mountains. You can't really see the mountains in the background, but I can. Yeah, so if you hear something in the background, that's Sarah taking a swim spa she's enjoying. So, yeah, here we are. Today is going to be chicken stew. Bring that on to the scene. Yeah. I think we're going to be able to beat the cost too. So let's get into the chat room. Right. I'm going to be using the Vaughn chat room today, in case you're wondering. And you see the dueling zero filters. You see how much I like this stuff? I keep these around ready to go in case I need water. And today I picked up some discounted vegetables. I think you'll be impressed. Okay. Now, if you're trying to watch me on the other networks, I am getting in there right now. So, yeah, for all of you who are watching me on Roku through Boxcast, welcome. In case you want to chat with me, you can always go to coolrock.com to, thank you, to chat. Feel free to go in there and find a chat room that suits your purposes. They are all free to get into. So you do have to make accounts at some of them, though, if not all of them. Now, it used to be people could just get in any which way they wanted, and as soon as I started hitting these different networks, the strangest phenomenon happened. Yeah, all the networks got rid of guest chat as soon as I started on their shows. Within a week, one network got rid of guest chat. Another week, another one did. So you can see that there's something going on with that. They don't want people to freely get into the show. That's the thing. That's the rub. That's going to come down a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay, we've got their fighting form on. We're all set to start cooking. First step is to peel the potatoes. So I like to wet them. And I've got a couple of little potatoes here I'm going to work with. One was going to seed, so what I did was I took the tops of these potatoes and I put them with some water, and they're rooting out. So as soon as I get a little bit of foliage on them, I'm going to put them in the garden. And that's how you can create potatoes. Isn't that great? The spuds were starting to sprout out. All right, we're going to need an onion for this. One onion. We got a last organic onion from the O brand I picked up last week. Remember that? That was a good deal. You can buy onions in quantity at Safeway and get fairly good organic onions for less money. Same with Kroger. I picked up a bag of organic onions today, 5 pounds for $2.99. That's a pretty good deal. You know, hopefully that will continue. This is a non-organic yellow squash we'll be eating today. Carrots are organic from Simple Truth. Those are easy to drop in the stew. And the cauliflower was in the dollar section, so I got this whole cauliflower for $1. So we're going to use as much as we can. It's only got a little browning right here. Not a big deal. And of course, these are the ends of the potato runs, so let's do that right now. All right, thanks for coming in and participating in David's Kitchen. DJS Direct. You know, I make dinner and cooking really easy. The chicken, by the way, I pulled out of the freezer, and I bought this entire bag of 2.5 pounds of breasts of chicken for $3.99. So that was back then. And this is a premium restaurant quality chicken breast. So I'm kind of using the end of that run. I've made a lot of purchases. You can tell there are a little bit of, you see in there, it's almost like freezer burn, right? There's one. I've allocated $2 for your chicken. You can go with boneless thighs, but I don't recommend getting. Come here. There's two. I don't recommend getting a boneless wing. They say that's rat meat. Tom, we talked about this. You don't want to be permabanned, Tom. You know, a lot of people like Mad Dog is permabanned. Now, I can have Ben Nemesis ban you right now. Or scissor fight. Do you want that, Tom? I don't think you want that. All right. Be nice. Yeah, you'll lose your name permanently, just like Mad Dog did his. You know, too much is too much. You know, I haven't really tracked the Chris Chan situation, but we'll get to that when I get to the political side of my show, because I'm recording this for YouTube and I'm not allowed to actually talk about anything, as you know. Tom was insulting me. I like to put a little water on my freezer burn to rehydrate it. Now, these are not freezer burned, but they will be a little bit, you know, cooking it in stew is probably your best bet. Let's get to the peeling section. So how long do you think it'll take me to peel these 3 potatoes without, you know, any mishaps? 1 minute? Okay, 5:15. Let's go, 5:15, here we go. Ready? On your mark, get set, go. You're not even seeing my face when I'm doing this. These are nasty. Actually, it's perfectly good potato. It's just that it's ready to be eaten, you know. Okay, I'm still at the 45-second mark. Thank you. Closing in on this portion. Losing time. This is supposed to be easy. I'm making it harder on myself. I'm closing in on 1 minute. 58, 59, 60. Oh no, I'm past the 1 minute mark. Oh no, oh no. All right. Whew. Did anyone time me? That was close, man. That was close. I think I came in under a minute, but I was using my brain, which is monitored like a metronome. Hello, welcome to the show. I am currently doing a cooking show. My name is David Sponheim. Today is Technology Thursday. Hello. So we'll be doing a little impersonation of robots today. Okay. I always dedicate a paper towel to the show, showing my tremendous generosity and willingness to give. All right, let's start this temperature up to level 3 on the rear. And we're going to go ahead and, water from last time's. I don't think I need to do that, but it looks like good water. So I think I'll compost the water. That's water from last night's dinner. I forgot to drain it. It's just water with, you know, nutrition in it. So everything basically All the peelings go in the compost heap. And I always recycle waste. In fact, I've got a koi pond where I use the algae to grow my vegetables, which is kind of cool. Yeah. And I'm not the only one who does that. I know Scissor Fight has a koi pond, you know. A few of us have a koi pond. Well, I would, you know, I would kind of like to wipe my face off with this towel, if that's okay with you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to get some more fresh water in this container here. The vegetables, the heavy vegetables will be cooked like the things that are going to take a while to cook, like the yam or the sweet potato and the regular potatoes. And I'm going to throw the cauliflower in with that too. And that should be enough to steam these vegetables, steam boil, I call it. As you know, I didn't patent the word steam boil, or trademark it, but I'm sure I could if I had to. It only takes, you know, spending money. That's not very nice, Ticking Time Bags. You better watch your mouth, buddy. Yeah, I have a good mod, and I don't like people disparaging him. Yeah, we have a new water filter and an older water filter. So this is the new design on the Zero water filter. This is the top. So no longer does it spill over into this area, which is a great advantage over the older design, which when you topped it off and then tried to pour it, it would spill into the water reservoir. So I keep, you know, I use them quite a bit. So whenever I make coffee, I'll use the older coffee filter for coffee. And the newer one I just drink fresh. We're going to get some safflower oil on this. You can use extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, but I don't recommend corn oil because it's genetically modified. Safflower is not GMO, and it's also one of the best oils for high temperatures. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this on the pan, get that going. Now this is cooking out of the freezer, which is a new technique I'm using for you guys to know that you can cook out of the refrigerator, and storage food on this is very long. This will stay in a bag, a plastic bag, for about 2 or 3 weeks. Onions will last 3 or 4 weeks from the time you buy them at the market. These carrots will last 3 weeks. And that's comfortably, you know, even longer if necessary. And this, obviously, this cauliflower needs to be eaten, so we're going to put that in the boil over here. The first thing to go in the boil will be the sweet potatoes and other potatoes, but we're going to get the onion cut up things first. So when cutting an onion, you want to bisect it like this. You'll notice how mechanical my motions are, which implies that I'm actually a robot, which is the impression I'm giving you tonight, the theme. Because that's where your future is going. They want to harness your body. They want to turn you all into androids. So I'm just giving you a heads up. I wish I was kidding. I myself am human, though. I'm just kind of messing with your head, pretending to be a robot. But it's kind of fun to talk about it, you know. Oh, half screen, thank you. You're keeping me going there, buddy. Yeah. Let's take this over a notch. Hopefully this will make you feel better. All right. You wouldn't want to lose out. Oh, that's not what I wanted. No, I'm still losing it. I need to go the other way. That's right. Okay. Hey, thank you. See, that's proof I'm not a robot. A robot would know the difference. That is correct, Dave. You are absolutely right. Faking humanity is the only way that they will not perceive you as a robot. Oh, really? I'm human, man. I'll make mistakes, okay? Come on, man. Okay, something's burning. It is the sapphire oil on the stove. Cut it like this. Big chunks. Oh, big chunk. Yeah, very good. Okay, throw that that onion on the grill. Where's the sizzle? I don't smell no, I don't get no sizzle, eh? Okay. Now throw a little basil in on the thing, or Italian seasoning, whichever you prefer. Well, that's a full teaspoon of basil. And then take those chicken things that you have right here and put them on top like that. We're going to use a product that Meow TV gave me. You know, the one with the bacon flavoring. And I was going to read it and see if it had any graphene oxide in it. Let's see. Reading the label here. Nope. It's just flavoring. Paprika. Yeah. No graphene oxide, so, you know. Well, I hope that's not in the algorithm set to talk about. Oh gosh, I hope that doesn't happen. Okay. I wouldn't want my video taken down. Oh my gosh. I don't think I can handle it. Hey, we're going to take some of this carrot. That goes in too. It's good to put that in the base of your pan, except that's not going in there. No. I was thinking about it, but no, I'm going to put the squash or the cauliflower in there. That's better. Let's put the carrots in this other pan over here with the water in it. Yeah, go for a little bit, you know, anything that fits. And you don't have to do anything with these carrots. They're organic right out of the whole thing. So you throw about, I don't know, about 8-9 ounces in there. Equivalent of about $1 worth of carrots. Okay. I'll cut up those potatoes. Okay, Habignazzi. Habignazzi. I got to come up with something other than what I just said. It sounds like it. Can you do some rhyming for me? Caffeine is really caffeine rocks size. You know, I drink coffee quite a bit, and caffeine rocks size. Yeah, caffeine rockside. It's really good. It really is good for you, coffee is. Caffeine rocks. It really does. That is a good one. It does match that. You're right. I'll have to mention that in the show, Tom. See, you came in and helped. You helped out, Tom. Thank you. Yep. It does rhyme, man. You're right on. Hey, I've been cooking with a little salt now, so I've been using this Himalayan salt, which I have a Himalayan salt shaker to salt in here. You know, a lot of the restaurant food usually comes salted, but I'm going to put a little bit in there anyway. And over here, I'm going to salt the water that's in the carrots. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a lot. It just has 87 essential minerals from the Himalayan mountains. Okay, and then right over here, we're going to cut the potatoes. And, you know, these are practically ready to cook at that point. Just throw those two in there. You don't have to be too precise on this. I'm going to make this into a 3D. 3 pieces. And this guy I'm going to cut in wedges. Thin enough to boil. And that I recommend about a ½ an inch on these things because they are hard to boil. But as Sarah was saying, sweet potatoes are better because they're not a nightshade vegetable like potatoes. Potatoes are nightshade vegetable. And they say nightshade vegetables cause inflammation in your body, and God knows you don't need more of that, right? You're already inflamed. Yeah. Caffeine rocks, really does. Oh man, I'd say Merry Christmas in July, but we're in August now, so I guess the snowman is still out though. The Iceman cometh. Yeah, so this is an amazing plant. I'd get another one of these things. They're so cool. It's still blooming, and this is the 4th week. Isn't that amazing? Right. The Phalaenopsis orchid. So think of phallic symbol and then Phalaenopsis orchid. It's just beautiful. I mean, and Sarah said, hey, I got this little thing for my students. So I said, well, I'll water it and see what happens. But man, I just put a little bit of water, no more than an ice cube worth of water every couple days. And it's just beautiful. It just gets better and better. Hey, Ben, I am an environmentalist, so get used to it. I just don't want to take away your car or your automobile or your plane trips. And I'm not the kind of guy who's going to take away engines or gas or anything like that. I'm going to actually fix the environmental problem as opposed to hate carbon. A lot of people just want to hate carbon, and that's kind of where they're coming from. Okay, let's crank that up. Let's take it up to level 6. And the boil is going to go to level 6 as well. Yeah, we're going to have to get rolling here. We're going to have to roaringly boil at this point. Hey, Victory for Cake. We're going to go ahead and have Victory for Cake kicked out of the show, if you don't mind. Thank you. Yep. He's still pissed off. I kicked his you kicked his other account out. So if you could, that'd be great. Oh, we don't have a. Oh, we don't even have a mod in here. Okay. I'll be right back. All right, we can take care of that. See, they made it hard for me to get into the show. I actually have to go through a second connection. Yeah, it's just crazy. You know, I thought I had a mod in there, but I guess I'm not. Yeah, it's just, this is all because of you know who. So. All right. He made it hard for me. He took out. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Well, Scissorfight noticed that he was, in fact, behaving exactly like, thank you. He was behaving exactly like T. Rucker. Yeah. So we had to do that. We had to take care of that. All righty. Anytime anyone wants to say anything again, I'll pull the laptop out and ban them. That includes you, Sir Farts a lot. Okay, anybody making any derogatory statements about me will be banned and muted in the show during the entire cooking segment. Yeah, you asked for it, man. All right, so we're going to get these things rolling here. The cauliflower is, I'm going to decide where I'm going to cook it depending on how much time I have left. But believe it or not, the dinner is in high gear, and I don't have to do anything but talk to you. So, isn't that nice? Yeah, you don't have to insult me, and I do the best I can considering, what I have to deal with. We got prosumer equipment, and, we're doing the best we can with our GE House of Tomorrow. This whole thing was laid out for me when I was a kid. I went to my training camp at Disneyland, where they introduced me to my home and they showed me what I could use in my home. And the GE House of Tomorrow is really kind of cool, I've got the General Electric range, basically the base model, which we picked up for $500. I've got the General Electric refrigerator, which is a stainless steel. It's actually not an ice maker because the ice makers have some issues. I had a friend who had an ice maker that decided to just break at the connection point. A 10-cent plastic fitting leaked all over his house and cost him $60,000 in a kitchen remodel. And this was after he remodeled his kitchen. He'd already spent $50,000 on it, so he had to spend another $60,000 to correct the problem that the water had leaking out of the back of the refrigerator. So getting a refrigerator or freezer with the ice maker isn't always the best thing. But the GE Home of Tomorrow or House of Tomorrow was something that was promised to me, and consequently I lived that life, Yeah, everyone in America was promised that. All of the initial the first drafts of the human species. I know some of you people don't realize, but you're now an android. I know, it sucks, doesn't it? You weren't told that when you were... I know. I can't even tell you about that right now because of the algorithms. Caffeine rocks, though. All right, let's see what we have here. I picked this up for $1. Normally, a cauliflower would be a lot more expensive. But by the divine graces of the discount section at Kroger's, I was able to achieve this great, amazing cauliflower, in which we will save from the devastation of browning out. Okay, so I don't know if this is organic or not, but does it even really matter? Okay, so what you want to do is trim the bottom off of this, like right here at the stalk. There we go. Well, I'm not done yet. Then you can cut the bottom and sculpt it. Now that right there, believe it or not, is full of nutrition. You see, cauliflower is a cruciferous vegetable. It forms a cross at the growing point. It does a crisscross. It's same with broccoli and Brussels sprouts. And it's not that bad. See that? It's just slightly tarnished. Hardly even noticeable. You can just shave that off with a little knife. Like that. Like that. We're going to throw the whole thing in because I have an abundance of this, but you don't have to cook with this vegetable. You can buy a can of Del Monte beans. They're non-GMO that you can put in the dish right now, okay? You can cook leafy vegetables if you want, but I'm going to go with these whole vegetables. And all I'm going to do is going to give it a basic slice, but first of all, I'm going to take the stalk. Thank you. I'm going to take the stalk and cut it up. Chopping it in little pieces. And throw that right in on this. All right. Now all you have to do with the chicken, I did cover it with a little bit of that thing we got from, it's called Delicious Bacon flavoring, 100% vegan. I'm going to put that on there, a little bit more. Flip it over. And everything's kind of grilled. It's perfect. Yeah, and I'm going to flip that over and kind of season it lightly. Now that could be a mild chili powder. That could also be garlic powder. That could also be a more Italian seasoning, whatever you want. It could be cumin. Okay? Or you can throw on like Ethiopian bearberry seasoning. Yeah, that's fun. That adds a little spice to it. Okay, now that it's actually, now that the chicken is actually broken up, I'm going to cut it in half now that it's thawed on the grill. Just kind of separate those so they have different chunks. Yeah, it helps break up the any toughness. Sometimes breast meat has toughness. And now is the time for you to add a little bit of water, a base of water. So while that's steaming on the other burner, I'm going to take my filtered water and just add a little bit to the dish like that. Oh, no more than an eighth of a teaspoon, like an eighth of a cup, basically. All right, then I'm going to take and cut up my squash. And they're just basic chunks like that. And I dropped one, so let me get that. All right, rinse it off. And I'm going to put that in with the cauliflower. Very nice. You take the cauliflower and cut it completely in half, in quarters, and then in eighths, like that. And then just lay them on top. Okay, and continue cooking at level 3. Turn the burner down to level 3, but keep the other one on a full boil. All right, I'm going to put the rest of the cauliflower in there. Now you can throw a little Italian seasoning on top for extra flavor. You've got seasoning at the bottom and the top, working its magic. And now I'm going to start with the compost again and kind of put everything in the compost heap and clean up. Yeah, because right now we're basically almost done. If you want to firm up the gravy, you can definitely put an egg in there. That'd be fine. Absolutely. You're going to have a roux at the bottom of that, that you can firm up with an egg at the very end of the meal, if you so choose. If it's too runny, that's a good idea. And if you really want to make a gravy, like a stew gravy out of this, and it starts to cook too long on the stove or something, you could definitely, thicken it with a little Wondra flour. Some people do that. I know my mom put a tablespoon of cornstarch in her stews back in the old days when they didn't have genetically modified cornstarch. But I don't do that. I don't trust the corn, man. Like, we buy organic corn chips whenever we can, and I recommend it. Like, I went to a wholesaler recently and got these corn chips. It's 8 ounces, roughly 7.5 ounces for $1. And they're organic and non-GMO. And they're kind of like bite-sized, so you eat less of them than the triangle ones. But yeah, definitely consider holding back on genetically modified corn. In the long run, it's bad for you. And that's based on a study done by Dr. Seralini. Now, you can dispute that, but Dr. Seralini won in court, in a Paris, international court in Paris, in a lawsuit against, the big guy. Yeah, the big genetic, the people that got his work shut off. And I'm not going to even mention the name because I'm sure the algorithm's queued for that too. Oh, yeah. Broadcasting on YouTube is real fun now. You have to talk in code words. It's just pathetic. Anyway, we'll be in the real show in just a few minutes, and you can get the whole story, not the abbreviated story. All right. Now that compost heap is going in the compost where the worms are, and that's going to go in there tonight. That's full. It has to be dumped. Okay. Make sure your cover is all the way on so it's steaming. And yeah, everything's full. We got a full boil going back here. And what I sometimes do is move the vegetables around in the pan, if indeed they're like a little bit positioned a certain way. That helps them cook faster. Okay, to keep that on a hard boil, I'm actually going to switch covers. Totally seal that heat in. I have a cover with a little hole in it. I was going to go get some Swiss chard today, but this is the kind of stuff that's really good for you. If you eat this kind of food, no matter what you've done in the past, this will help you. And they do break down into a small area, but there's a lot of truth to that Popeye thing back in the 30s. For real. There's a whole lot of truth to that. Yeah. Popeye the Sailor Man. He's Popeye the Sailor. We plant everything. Everything we grow naturally in our gardens. Yes, the gardens of earthly delight. Everything grows here naturally in the biosphere. Yes, as soon as we adapted to humankind's living environment, it was much easier. Once we realized you didn't really understand how to grow things properly and allowed your entire world to be polluted, we decided to grow things instead. No, we are the stewards of the earth, the humans are, and we really have an obligation to do that, and we're not doing it. In our infinite wisdom, we've yet to really clean up the mess that we've created. So I say put the brakes on transgenderism and transhumanism and focus on dealing with living naturally with our environment. Now, you guys who want to be transgenders or transhumanists, you'll still have that option. Have you ever thought about using fresh what, Tom? I use fresh herbs all the time. Most of my herbs are wildcrafted by me in my garden. What are you talking about? These over here, I happen to purchase. It makes it easier for me. Like I can pull from my thyme collection right now. And thyme is kind of good to put in an herb garden. You know, this is all thyme. I'm just going to buy you some thyme. So let's put that in the stew too. You know, some people put rosemary in the potato water. So let me pull from my handcrafted rosemary and put it in my potato water because it makes for a very good potato. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Yeah, this is all handcrafted from my garden. I'm going to put that in with the sweet potatoes too. Yeah, it'll give it it'll kind of freshen up the taste. It'll give it a little augmented reality. But yeah, I have a whole spice rack up here. Let me show it to you. These are antique spices from the 1960s and 70s. And these are current ones that I pick up at Walmart. These are pretty cool. All these brands sell for about $2.34. Amazing. I think the ground cumin is $3.99 or $3.49, but the prices on these organic herbs they sell at Walmart. And of course, if they don't take cash at Walmart, forget everything I said. Yeah. Okay, we're going to throw that little bit of greens on top of this dish here. Do a quick boot up. It just adds a little color, you know. I'll put some collard greens in everything. You'd add some color to your din din. Yeah, so consider that. Collard greens are very good for your health. Any kind of greens, Swiss chard, spinach. Just don't put paper towels in your dinner. That would be bad. Sarah does not like to cook. I told you that. She makes a great lasagna and a really good leek soup. I've explained that to you many times. I have told you that over 14 times now. Genius. Sarah is a great baker, though. She's an excellent baker. And she's an excellent cook, too, when she makes lasagna. And you see, people only are good at what they like to do. That's my opinion. And Sarah's really good at making lasagna and leek soup. I mean, really good leek soup. If you haven't tried anything that's cooked by a person who likes what they're doing, you really don't know that. You have to know the difference. There are people that don't like to cook that you could easily, eat their food, but it tastes like they don't like to cook. You really have to find people that love to cook. Sarah and I were reminiscing today about this buffet we used to go to. And we befriended a woman who was the chef there. And I think she even has her phone number. I don't know, but yeah, we were so impressed with the cooking of this woman. She could put out food for about 100 people herself that tasted incredible. Every dish was like mouth-watering. And it's that love for cooking that she had, and you could just see it in her. And of course, the casino we went to didn't appreciate her. No, they didn't even appreciate anybody that did. The thing about casinos is that they're killing their restaurant business. They're killing it. The place that we used to go is now a taco bar. They just don't have any clue as to what they're doing. They just don't know what they're doing. And consequently, buffets are losing ground in the world. And the idea of buying lots of food at any given time or eating it lots of food will be over soon. All right. Now, one way to check to see if these sweet potatoes are done is to take a little knife and put it right through. Once you make the stab into the potato, and it can go in just a little bit of resistance, then turn the whole thing off and let it cook at its own heat. Okay? Now the stew is the same way, and what we're doing is getting the temperature up to a solid level, and then we're just going to turn it off. Now you can serve this dinner out of the containers. It's very easy. You can put your potatoes down, put a little butter on your potatoes, and then serve up the meat next to it or on the potatoes with the vegetables in addition. I have to resume chat here. Yes, this is a $30 knife, yes. I paid $30 for this from a guy I thought was a friend of mine. And I realized what friendship really was at that point. My friendship to him was worth $30. That was his chance to get to know me. I couldn't get him out of my house. I said, come on, man, I'm not going to buy anything from you. No, 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 you got to buy something, man. This is my first job outside of where we worked. And I'm going, no, no, no. And he kept trying to sell me the whole kit, you know, like $300, $500. I couldn't get him to leave the house. I think it was an hour and a half he sat here and just kept saying he needed to sell me something. He wasn't going to leave without selling me something. And that's when my friendship turned into a $30 deal. Yeah. I'd known this guy for 2 years and hung around. You know, we did a lot of stuff together. We actually, God, we had a lot of fun. That's what's really weird. Is like we had a lot of fun together, hanging out. He met his girlfriend, and then he went on his own merry way, and he moved to another area of the country. But he and I used to go out and hit arcades. It was kind of fun. I mean, he was fun to hang out with. And I think one night, well, it doesn't really matter, but reminiscing and all. But what I found out is that people don't really value the fun times that they have with people. Now, I know people that actually call me up and say, man, I wish I could go back to that time when we had so much fun together. It's like, no, man, that time's like 40 years ago, man. I mean, is that why you call me up? It's like they're living in the past. They want to, but they don't realize that had they retained a relationship, and we could have hung out, you know, we could have had fun. You had a similar relationship, yeah. And you probably had a lot of laughs with that person. Well, dysfunctional should not be, people shouldn't be so judgmental. That's the secret. I think a lot of people are super judgmental, and that's what ruins friendships. And when you tell the truth, sometimes it can ruin a friendship. Yeah, if you're really honest like I am, people don't like to hear honesty. They want to hear what they want to hear. So I think the friendship game is all about schmoozing people for the most part. You know, constantly cultivating friendship involves them calling you and using you and, you know, you helping them and all of that. And I did that for a lot of people back in the 1980s and 90s. I mean, I was like the go-to guy. I did everything. If somebody wanted to move, I brought my pickup out there and moved them, you know. Okay, you can turn everything off now. It's all done. Yeah, I met Henry Winkler in Santa Monica, actually. We talked for about 45 minutes. I would say that he's a very wise person. I think you could really rely on wisdom from Henry Winkler. I had a chance to meet his wife's grandfather, Mr. Ponte. I drove for him in Malibu one day. I was helping a friend out. And I'll tell you, I've never met a nicer old man. He was the guy that built Hollywood. He was one of the key builders in Hollywood. He built all the stars' homes. And he was a pretty amazing guy. You can tell a certain type of people when you meet them, you know. This isn't a cult, no, or a church. You're here every night, guys. I mean, this is your hangout. I'm here for you. Cool Rock is your hub, man. It's your hangout. Okay, I'm going to turn that off, but I'm going to roll it out on top of the potatoes. So let's do this. I've allocated $7 for 5 people, but you could always extend this out to a lot more. We're going to use the big bowl here. Give it a little quick rinse, make sure it's free of any dust. Okay, let's get the colander. We're going to go ahead and drain some of the potatoes out. Okay. With the carrots. Put it right in there like that. And then take the entire other dish and put it right there on top of that. And pull all the chicken out so you can serve that on top. So when you make your meal, you put 5 separate plates and just start doling people out food. And when you're done, voila. All right, thank you. We're going to say goodbye and hang out tomorrow. We're next time. I'll be in the show in about 5 minutes. See you there. Always soak your pans afterward.